Well, I'm not sure what the topic for today would be about. I've been watching, Larkin Rose has done a couple of live videos over the last few days. And this last one was, it was good. The only thing is I totally agree with him on it, so it's kind of like preaching to the choir. But he was talking about principled anarchism versus pragmatic. And I'm a principled anarchist. Any judgment that I make on whether something's right or wrong, or whether I agree with it or whatever, is based on principle. And to me, Larkin Rose didn't say this, but to me, a pragmatic anarchist is not really an anarchist, because he has no principles. Because a pragmatic, if you could call him that, pragmatic anarchist, is someone who thinks, well, it might be better in the long run for us to do it way X rather than way Z, what we're doing now. And that's not saying that that is wrong, but doing things a certain way just because it's better in the long run is not necessarily moral. And I look at everything from the moral perspective, and principle. If I say that we shouldn't be doing something, it's because it's in some way immoral against my principles. Let's see. Taxation. I would say that, like, a pragmatic anarchist would say, well, we should end taxation because in the long run, people would have so much more money, from not having half of their income stolen from them, that they would be more likely to do stuff like help out the poor, stuff like that. Charity would take the place of welfare. And that's true. That's absolutely true. But that's not the reason that I would do it. The reason I would end taxation is because it's theft, and theft is immoral. And I have a hard time with so-called pragmatic anarchists, because they're not doing something because it's right or wrong. They're doing it because it would be beneficial. And the problem with that is trying to convince someone who is benefiting the other way. To somebody who is on welfare or Social Security or whatever, it's beneficial for them to keep having the government rob other people on their behalf. So trying to convince somebody to give up government and the state through pragmatic reasoning, I think you're going to have a whole lot harder time getting them to do that than by having them get rid of it, having them give it up because of principles. Because for them, it's going to be beneficial for everybody in the long run to end taxation. But, like somebody said in one of the comments, the baby boomers sure aren't going to agree with that, because in their line of thinking, they've been paying into this savings account for years, and they want it back. Well, that's not what's been happening. There is no Social Security savings account. and there never has been. But, you know, for the government to continue robbing people, that's beneficial to them. And so they're going to have a very hard time giving up things that they receive because of taxation if you're using a pragmatic argument.